Shalom, Shalom. Kwam Yasha Allah. Kukuloyim La Yahweh, Bahashim Yavashai, Bahashim Rakakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule well. And that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. And just want to say Pawada to all the H.I.M and Akhwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh, Bahashim Yavashai to the best of their ability. This is Achanan Awaf just coming at you with another quick lesson. Praying that it's edifying by the Spirit, or exhortation, so to speak. And I wanted to go off into that little NBA Finals game last night, the first game with Indiana and OKC. And it was just, I just been meditating on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're familiar with that game and you watched it last night, which I didn't even watch all the game. It was like I clicked into it and seeing that Indiana was down maybe 10. Matter of fact, I clicked into it right at the halftime. I watched like a couple of minutes of it, and then I kind of got out of it, and started doing something else. I actually, just got away from the channel altogether, and was trying to find something else to, kind of wind down to or watch or whatever. But the Spirit was just like, click back to the game. By the time I clicked back to it, I'm like, man. Indiana, and I don't know why I was rooting for the underdog, because I don't care who win. It's just like, oh no, just every time I see the underdogs in any situation, I've always been like that. Always been behind, the ones that you kind of just don't think is going to win. And you know what? That's spiritual, because us Israelites, we are we're the underdogs, man. Nobody thinks we're going to win. People just be looking at us like, y'all talking that truth shit, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Your Sky Daddy and this, that, and the third. They don't see Jake actually coming up because they see us in the position that we're actually in right now. But see, we have faith. We have hope in what Yahweh Bashim Yahushua said, and we have that faith to know that to be true. By the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. We believe it. And we know that we're the underdogs. We know that we don't have no might in our hand, like the scripture says. We know that. But guess what? We have the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, on our side, and he's the one that's gonna fight this battle for us and win this battle for us. And so, just touching on that game last night, by the time I turned back on the game, they were still down I think they were still down 10 points. 8 points, something like that. But I'm like, okay, well shit, it's still 6 minutes or so on the clock. I'm like, they got a chance. You know what I'm saying? If they could, just go ahead and shut them down on some, on some defense and make some shots. So shit started going down. They started cutting into the lead. And then, I think it was I seen that it was they was on a 10-2 run within the past 2 minutes of me clicking back into it. So they down to 4 minutes, 3 minutes, or whatever. But it was some calls was being called on them. And it was kind of the little score was jumping back up, and I'm like, well, shit, they still got a chance. It was 2 minutes left or so. But if you peep that game, and you can watch some shorts on it, man, that last jump shot just drew the breath out of those Edomites in that stadium, man. And I was cheering my ass off too. I was cheering as if I had put some damn money on that game, man. I was actually an Indiana Pacer fan. Like I lived in Indiana or something, but it was just something about the underdog. I'm like, I was kicking it with a coworker, and he was like, yeah, Indiana gonna go within 5. You know what I'm saying? He was already these first 2 games or so, possibly even our third game, they're gonna just go ahead and whoop on the Indiana. They may win 1, and that's how he was talking. But I'm pretty certain he's probably surprised now, that it happened the way that it happened. But just one jump shot, bro, put them up by 1 point with 0.3 seconds on the clock. Now, anything can happen within 0.3 seconds. We've seen some games where it's just God damn, how the hell they do that? You know what I'm saying? Like a super upset. But, man, it was just I just felt it man, they this it's a wrap. The people was in the crowd looking stupid as hell. Them Edomites, they been had that extra drink by that time, and they're looking stupid. And they had to walk their asses out of there, man, with that L. But it just reminded me, hey, that's how, Israel, we gonna win, man, in the end. Even though we look like we we're not capable of anything, man. Scriptures talks about how our salvation is going to be strange, man, to the enemy, roughly paraphrasing, man. You know? Because right now it's like, you know, they just looking at us like them niggas that's in the hood. They just smoking, drinking. You know what I'm saying? They don't have no might in their hands. You know, we're the best military on the planet. We have the, you know, it's like OKC. You know, all the odds is toward. I mean, all the favor is towards them. You know, as far as like their season that they've had, you know, their record, they've been doing good. And I'm not saying that Indiana gonna pull the whole thing off. I don't know. I'm just you know, going with what happened with this game last night. Like, you know, and it just, you know, it hit me in the spirit like, hey man, that's how we gonna come up out here. It's gonna be all of a sudden. All of a sudden. And the scriptures talks about all of a sudden the calamity of our enemy, man. Like, you know, he's gonna be broken without remedy. All of a sudden. All the wind is gonna be, it's gonna be like that gut shot. If you've ever had the wind knocked out of you. You know, it's gonna be just like that, man, for Esau. Like, what the fuck, man? We're doomed. We're done. That's it. You know, so that, you know, I just wanted to just chop it up on that, man. I'm kind of getting closer to my destination, but I was just like, oh, I hit the record button because you know, and you can watch some shorts on it if you ain't seen it. Hey, that shot done them dirty, man. Done them dirty. And you know, that particular guy, Halliburton, for pronouncing his name right, he did, you know what I'm saying, you know, he hit some, you know, some pretty decent shots in some of their more crucial games, because I was kind of surprised Indiana was even out there like that, because I hadn't been watching none of that shit. So I was asking a coworker, I'm like, but damn, you know what I'm saying, like, are they really that good, or, you know, they've been slipping by, you know, just, you know, some games been going their way that they possibly shouldn't have been winning. Just like, nah, they decent, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, hey, shit, I guess it is what it is. But man, and that smile on that brother's face, the joy of all of them, though, you know, and that's another thing, that joy that we're gonna have, man. When he hit that shot, man, that team jumped up off the bench, and man, I'm talking about, man, Jake smiling ear to ear, man, cheering and shit, because they knew it was, you know, hey, that's what we needed. It's done. We in a great position with 0.3 seconds. Like, man, you're not getting really nothing off like that. All you can do is throw that shit towards the rim, and hopefully one of your mans tip that bitch, and that's it. Because all you can get is a touch. That's it. And it just didn't work out that way for him, man. So I was looking like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Hey, but that's how we gonna be. And that brother, you know what I'm saying? You can see him when he was about to be interviewed. That smile, man, that look on his face, you know, and he was trying to be humble about it too. But man, what a way to go out. And they had a dog-ass lead. They had a dog lead. And that's how coaches get fired too, you know. Because, you know, that, and another thing too, what is the fuck going on with this nigga? He running hard as hell. Who on your ass, bro? He done some shit. Yeah, that looked like, fuck this nigga done. It's a lot. But anyway, that made me lose what I was about to say. But yeah, man, that smile on that brother's face, man, was golden. Golden, baby. And that's the way we gonna look, man, when it all goes down, man. You know, praying that we're a part of that, hopefully elect. And the Lord hit us off with that crown, man. When he hit us off with them crowns, it's gonna be all teeth showing, bodies all changed up. You're gonna have them real pearly whites. Them real pearly whites, baby. All 30 or 32 of them just glowing. Real skin colors back, man. I can't even imagine, man. Just that type of party, man. That's gonna be the super duper party. Howard Shah, he said he gonna slip some yum with us, man. That wine, ain't no telling what that wine gonna be like. Jake, man, just be blowing through the hood. Alright, yeah, look at you. Now you done got jammed up. Traffic enforcement over here, man. That cop don't be playing no games. Nigga, he be out here on Jake ass. I probably should have stopped right there. Anyway, but yeah, man, just wanted to just chop something up on that victory of those Indiana Pacers last night, because it just reminded me of, you know, the strangeness of our salvation, man. We're gonna be on point, man. How we're willing, we are a part of that hopefully elect, man. So I'm gonna end out there. I pray that this was edifying. With that, shalom.